no big deal. We can just restart from that event. Hate it when that happens. So no, it looks like for the premise of this mission we need to keep all our companions alive, and we've got a ring that'll help keep them alive. I just hope they can't die in combat. Or based on my luck with gambits, because that's just gonna get real ugly, real fast. Oh, check that out. That's a hero, ladies and gents. Let's try this again. MC2M says a buffoon hero. Yeah. Looks kind of like a bargain basement Stallone. Oh, it's the Empire.
The Empire would stop at nothing to ensure you are found.
I don't care. I'm way too strong for these guys at this point. So, am I correct in thinking that our companions can't die just in normal combat? That this is what we platinumed them for, and any possible deaths are linked directly to story events? I'm honestly surprised the Empire has any men left at this rate. We had to have beaten hundreds of them to death at this point, in the capital alone. MC2M says no, they just get exhausted like normal. That's very good. Very good. Well, down goes the Empire, as usual. And we get some equipment. What equipment? The Assassin's Blades.
As a surprise even to those awaiting it. I can tell you this with confidence. Now the power...
We can use Arcane Edge, and we're going to. Oh, or the Assassin's Blades. Tell you what, the Assassin's Blades would actually probably be better for the goblins. Let's take them to school. Let's take a look at these things. Oh, that's pretty nice. Slender, graceful, and deadly. The cost of these blades is always a life. Ooh, look at that finisher. Uh-oh, one of them's drinking. Ooh, ouch, out. Oh, drinking goblins are worst goblins. No. What on earth? Brimstone goblins are more dangerous than any other type of brimstone enemy we've seen so far. Got a trophy, though. Mischief managed, I suppose, for killing X amount of Gobbo soldiers. Alright, what helm do we have? Exactly the helm we want. Fate's dealing. Oh, we can just fight the Black Knight. Yeah, let's do that. With Ariadne, we should be able to make mincemeat of him. It's the Brimstone Black Knight. Are we gonna get him in time? We just might. And indeed we did. Nice. The Black Knight's corpse scatters in the wind like ash. You've proven yourself again, adventurer. Yay, wheel of loot.
We see yet another wheel, each different, yet each bearing their own.
Topping our health off, I'll take it. And the second. Little bit of gold, always good.
That should help.
That's the one we want. Yay. The corrupted horde. Ooh.
If you are to reach me, you must shake them all free.
You find your companions taking cover in an alley across from the gate to the outer district. It's the infected, Estrella explains. The commotion of the guards has incited them. They've gathered here, blocking the gateway to the outer district. It's the only way out of the city. You peek around the corner. So I'm guessing, now that I've gotten all my companions, they're a platinum variant. The actual complexity of this chapter is basically non-existent, yeah? It's just a non-stop brawl till we get to the dealer's carriage. Oh my god! This doesn't look good, Malaclip says. No shit. We'll stir up the hornet's nest if we try to get past them. I say we run like cowards. We should head forward, Estrella replies. It's only a matter of time before we're found by the Empire, and this is the only way beyond the wall. You feel a gentle tug on the corner of your sleeve. You turn to face a small, wizened goblin, a pronounced frown wrinkling his face. Gerald knows a way, he mutters. Ah, the catacombs. Below the city there's a path, home to a king from an age past. The Empire is forgotten. Meet Gerald there. And with that he turns and disappears down an alleyway, looking back sullenly at you. What a crotchety little thing, Ariadne chuckles. I don't trust it. We should fight and make a break for the city gates. I trust a goblin over a horde of infected, Malaclip's notes, turning to you. I thought he seemed nice and incredibly trustworthy. I'd take my chances on anything over this.
This is a place of death. You should be comfortable here.
You meet with the bad-tempered goblin. It glances furtively around. They're looking for you. If you don't want to die, you should hurry. More information. There's the catacomb exit. The catacombs lead under the wall of the inner bailey. Gerald will show you, for a price. Gerald was sent to help you, the goblin mutters irritably. Gerald did not agree to do it for free, though. In a flash, he snatches at our belongings. Oh, the Mask of Holy Fortunes. And the Lionheart. Let's trade something else. Oh, no, he won't take anything else. Ask why he's helping. He was ordered to. And hates it. Is this worth it? Is this worth it, or should we go take our chances with the infected? Like, the mask is a real shame, but the Lionheart, man. Up to me. Yeah, we can get these back. We can get them back. You follow Gerald to an open sewer grate by an abandoned hospice. Then, quite out of nowhere, he presses a flaming torch into your hands before pointing into darkness. The torchlight flickers on the wet stone as you crouch and crawl through the tunnel. Then, out of nowhere, the tunnel opens up and you can breathe again. Light filters in weakly from cracks in the ceiling to reveal a cavern with the smell of old death, the catacombs. Suddenly, there's a rattle and the sound of metal in the darkness coming toward you. That's no problem, it's just skulls. Just skulls. Oh, this is weird. Oh, this is very weird. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Am I actually gonna do this? I think I'm actually gonna do this. Time to burn the bones. Oh, or do they keep coming? Get them in the traps? Oh, the trap's further down the hall. Well, I certainly could, but I think our work here's just about done. Yeah, there we go. Got a little bit of gold, got a little bit of food, let's go for it. Oh, sorry, that's a ton of food. I will give it to good old Defiant. They do try to make sure you're well equipped for these sort of climactic chapters in both games. They gave you a ton of gold during the Dealer's Challenge in the first game as well. Well, that was a noble, like, sort of semi-final effort by the Skulls. At long last, you emerge out from the catacomb and breathe fresh air. Gerald the Goblin is nowhere to be found. Temple prayers, we will take one. We will take the Gambler's Banquet. Always good to have, I find. Discard this card to gain 2 food. No. Oh dear. It's the Empire once again. Oh, Musketeers and Legionnaires. That's not too bad. Yeah, let's get a good close-up look at this. Looks like a dwarven implement from the Elder Scrolls, kind of. The Arcane Edge. It's a rare mage who entrusts their power to a simple weapon, yet this one has outlived its creator. Oh, that's an awesome finisher. Its normal strikes are far from the strongest for any hammer, but man is this thing special brutal. Still gonna get benched in favor of the peeler as soon as we get it. Don't take me wrong, but I'm A-okay with Thunderstrike 2. There we go. Considering the shape of this weapon, you must really have to get that kind of sharp corner into the flesh to be able to pitch them like that. More fame. The dredge, or the drudge of corruption, will ambush the corrupted.
Patience. Do not move too quickly, for haste breeds only failure.
There we go.
Nicely timed.
That should get rid of the Juggernaut, at least. And that should get rid of the Affliction. And now it's just 7 Brimstone corrupted. We can handle that. I get the feeling this is going to be a pretty long chapter, and I think we said as much yesterday. Because we got so much ground to cover. Yep. Well, this is where the story really kicks into overdrive, so they more or less fit the entire third act of the game's story into 3 chapters. It makes sense that they'd be a bit longer. There we go. And we escape, or set to escape. And here it is again! Oh dear. Ooh, that's bad.
Poorly done. You must harness your will and find the quiet stillness
That's okay.
inside you.
Why did they make me do this twice? Oh. There we go. That'll get rid of the terror unit, I think.
You have done well.
Yep. So just a Juggernaut and the Blights, and the Juggernaut should actually be easier to deal with than the Terror would be. I'll let Ariadne handle the Juggernaut for now. That's kind of her area of expertise. Oh, she's already got it ready for a finisher. Look at that. There we go. Once more. So things have come to a fever pitch now. Regardless of what our companions are saying, the Empire's more or less done for. Kallas or no, I would say. Doesn't mean he won't find some new mechanism to use to come to power, but this particular Empire is hosed. City's being torn apart from above and below, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna run into the Northerners just as soon as we get outside. Okay. The city limits. Oh, we missed Merchant's favor, which is a shame, but it ain't worth it.
Such things in motion. Who and when, do you know? All will be clear in time.
Bells continue to toll as a crowd of paupers and townsfolk hold on. Oh yeah, they took my mask. Fill the square leading out of the Imperial City. Guards block the way, checking all wagons and persons trying to enter and leave. The people cry out in protest. Let us through! Let us through! But they're only met with a wall of shields blocking the gates. Estrella beckons to you and Ariadne from the alley across the street. You press through the crowd, avoiding the guards, to join your companions. There are more soldiers here than we can ever hope to defeat, Estrella whispers, and they'll only gain in numbers the longer we linger. Somebody must be sacrificed, Kolbjorn mumbles. Malaclips laughs, his colorful hat bells jangling. Don't have to be so cheery about it. I vote we don't send me, because I won't be enough of a distraction. Ariadne's blue eyes look worriedly between the two. Surely there's another way we can all escape. No, Kolbjorn is right. It's the only way, Estrella says, turning to the group. Someone will have to draw the guards' attention for the others to escape. There's precious little time. Who will it be? So, does this matter, or because they're all platinum, can I just pick my favorite, basically? And they'll be fine. I'm thinking that's what's happening here. Like, they kind of operate like Mass Effect loyalty missions. Oh, it matters. Oh dear. I'm thinking either of these two, probably? What are we thinking, Ariadne? Or no, Estrella. She knows the Empire. If you don't do their side quest, they die regardless. Oh, great. So, how on earth am I supposed to tell who's the appropriate pick here? I have a feeling Kolbjorn isn't the best pick, because, well, he's kind of a one-trick pony. Ariadne's strong enough to distract them for a while. Try reading the dialogues? Do we... Knowing your companions. Yeah, well... Or having done it before, yeah. Like, the problem I always have with things like this is I feel like to an extent I'm expected to get inside the developers' heads, and I could come up with a solid reason why any of these people would be suitable for this job. Malaclips is very agile and adept at really significant, although kind of less than powerful shows of magical force. He could distract them. I have a feeling Kolbjorn isn't the guy here, just because he's a little plain for this. She wants to fight the Empire, and it's definitely based off story. I know. Estrella's the choice here. Yeah, can we just confirm that this is probably the best chance? I have a feeling we're gonna run into the Northerners, we're gonna run into some kind of monster, and we're going to run into mages or the corrupted at some point. And everybody else here has a better specialty for dealing with this, besides Estrella. She can handle the Empire, nobody else can. Quite as well, anyway. Our other melee companions would get themselves killed, and Mal isn't quite strong enough or well connected. Is this... She also knows the city. Yeah, she's who we want, I would say. Okay. Estrella waits for you all to get to the front of the crowd near the gate. Then, like a martyr to the gallows, she steps up onto a merchant's cart. Soldiers of the Empire! Her voice rings clear and commanding. The square falls silent save for the ringing of the bells in the distance. I am Estrella Fior, former captain of the Empire and the Emperor's assassin. After a shocked pause, the guards spring into action, shoving past peasants to get to Estrella. With no fear in her eyes, she glances to you, Malaclips, Ariadne, and Kolbjorn, nodding in acceptance. Suddenly, there is a shout from one of the peasants. Yep, it's the right choice. It's the savior of far water. She saved the town from an army with naught but 4 people on her side. Another calls out. The peasant king. He said she would return to lead us. To freedom. Like a great machine whirring into action, the peasants turn as one and charge toward the city gates. Silence this rabble! Capture the conspirator! A captain cries out, before she's knocked out cold by a traitor's soup pot. Seeing her opportunity, Estrella slips into the crowd and rejoins you and your companions as the soldiers scramble to fend off the rioting crowd. Without stopping to look back, you flee the city and head northeast toward the marshes. Well, that's one down. The others should probably be a little bit easier to suss out. Savior of far water, eh? Malaclips quips as you flee into the swamps. Estrella smiles. We got lucky, and we can't hope to survive on luck alone. She turns to Ariadne. You know these parts. Where do we go from here? Ariadne looks over the marshland. West of here is a bridge across the river, and beyond that, the way to the mountains. Malaclips stares into the fire, and beyond the mountains is the marigold fields and the caravan. Okay. The dark alleys, good. So I think I already know who we're going to end up choosing for this map. It has to be Ariadne, then probably Kolbjorn. I want the Brilliant Blade. Oh, she's got a multi-barreled pistol. Estrella. Estrella has traded her high rank, allies, and family for a hanging by high treason, life on the run, and the possibility of a better world. Her pistol now does much more damage. Good, let's put it to use. Got him. There we go. Gotta remember to freeze them every now and again. Go. So, this thing is great at prepping people for takedowns or executions. Oof. Pressed the wrong button, my mistake. There we are.
Perhaps we'll find this more.
The Brilliant Blade. Deals more damage to brimstone enemies. Yeah, let's go ahead and equip that for now. Anything for us? Perfect. We recover more valuables. We'll actually go ahead and turn that into food, real quick. St. Tala's Day, here we go. Give us luck. And give us whatever you feel. Okay, that's fine, as transient blessings go. And reveal that map to us. Man of the world. The raging river. With the bridge. The deadly crossing.
Are endless, and each would stop you from fleeing your crime.
You find your companions taking cover a short way from the bridge across the raging river. As you approach, Kolbjorn emerges from the undergrowth. There are many armed men up ahead. They bear not the banners of the Empire. Bounty hunters, Malaclips mutters. I'm sure the Empire has put a handsome price on our heads. The Guild could not resist such a reward. And so they couldn't. This does not look good, Estrella says. We have no other option at this time. What should we do? From out of nowhere, a familiar cantankerous goblin appears, frowning at all of you. Gerald has been sent to help. There is a boat upstream that can take you across the river. You'll have to battle the current, or you could find yourself right back here with these thugs. Gerald looks delighted at the prospect. He turns and disappears back into the rushes. He'll probably want something for his trouble, Malaclips says. Goblins always do, but a boat sounds so much more to my taste than dealing with these bounty hunters. What do you say? So, can my companions die if I choose to fight these massive, blocks of enemies, or is there no consequence as long as I make it through the combat? Nope, so this is just a pure test of skill. Just have to survive it. I'm gonna fight these guys. We can handle it. Oh, Ariadne might take one down. Ariadne offers to help, yes. Let's watch and see. Huge success. Choose a card to discard. I want to get rid of the big brimstone card. Nope, that'll do. And defeats her target. Good, that'll get rid of the anarchist.
Perhaps you should have taken your time.
And then Kolbjorn, whom we may or may not get, but we get some food from, so not gonna complain. Well, not gonna complain any more than usual. There we go.
Well done. You continue to impress.
We'll get rid of the assassin. We don't get to use our brilliant blade against brimstone enemies, but I'm quite alright with that. Yeah, I'd honestly, instead of throwing my equipment away, much rather just build myself up. Oh, that's pretty nice. Looks a bit like a knockoff of, what's the name of the sword? Sting, from the, that first Hobbit, or no, sorry, from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the Peter Jackson films. Great Rolla stood at the ages of damnation itself, his blade swinging and flowing from strike to strike. Rolla fell, but the gates were closed.
Quickly, while we have the upper ground.
Oh no, there's still some brimstone folks around. And yeah, this thing does a ton of damage to them. Ooh, my bad. Ooh boy, that's a lot of silencers. Ooh, check that out. Ooh, that cut through multiple enemies.
To battle.
Got him. Ooh, got all 3 in a row. Very nice. Oh, and the number of hits this thing requires to fire off a finisher reduces with every finisher performed, it looks like. Or, sorry, a special move, rather. Or no, it just went from like 10 to 6 or something? Oh well. Down it goes. Or down they go. Whew. And a fond farewell to the Thieves Guild. Trumpets sound in the distance as Imperial soldiers press through the wetlands toward the bridge. We must make ourselves scarce, Estrella shouts. The distressed damsel. Ooh, man. That is A-okay, we'll fight him. We lost Braggart, but we got a ton of food thanks to the suit of ice.
Come for me. To arms.
Yeah, no, the number of hits necessary to trigger this weapon's special move does decrease after every successful execution of it. Whew.
We fight.
Oh, how on earth did that hit me from that distance? That was just a little janky, and that hit too, damn it! Yeah, to a minimum of 6, that's what it looked like. Alright, let's see what this'll do. Good, good. Even more food. Not gonna complain. Gang of thieves. We'll, just head up north for now. Stirring in the mire. Okay, what do we have? Oh, a greed poisoner. Or an Imperial Captain in General. We'll fight the Empire pursuers. At least we got plenty of food to heal ourselves if we need it, right?
On my mark.
Whew. MC2M says that's what food is for, yeah. Especially at this point in the game. Thankfully, starvation isn't a really super present threat, or hasn't been lately. My foolishness in the sewers notwithstanding. Oh, well that was nice and easy. We stun-locked them. Stun-locked them both. Okay, even more food. Hey, got it first roll, that's not bad. And it's the Scorched Blade, which we don't need. MC2M says, Temperance seems real easy now, doesn't it? Yeah, tell me about it. What do we miss? Nothing we really need. Well, these two are pretty good. We'll do Stern in the Mire once again. Thieves. Oh, and the Frost. We'll actually take the Assassin's Blade and fight the Thieves, I think. Oh, could go Scorching Blade and do the Raiders, you're right. In the north, only might makes right. You do not become tyrant without a pile of bodies behind you.
To arms!
Nice and cheery. Thankfully, the Brimstone effect is purely visual and doesn't come with, like, resistance against fire damage. All of the lava golems. Oof. Oh, I'm getting too sloppy for this stage in the game. Got him. There we go. This is a pretty nice little sword. Oof. It wreaks havoc on Northerners, that blade? Yes, it does. Well, we didn't get the equipment. Shame. But we can get this equipment. Imperial armor. Yeah, we want that.
That will set you in
We've gotten that one pretty reliably. Now let's head on
Make your choices
to the
carefully.
next map.
Your friends have served you well, but they must serve you a final time.
You find your companions huddled around a small fire at the beginning of the foothills, at the edge of the marshlands. Without a word, Kolbjorn throws a pot of water on the fire with a hiss. Then, with a tired nod, you all begin your climb. Together, you scramble up the slippery banks to the drier lands of the foothills. As dusk falls, you look back over the marshlands. There you see the torchlights of the Empire search parties hot on your trail. Suddenly, Estrella stops. She puts her arm out in front of you, blocking your way. You look up the path ahead. Bounty hunters. Sure enough, up ahead in the shadows of the rocky outcrops you see them. A gang of countless thieves waiting to claim you all as their bounty. One hooded figure steps forward. Well, if all our paydays haven't come at once, he chuckles. There's a pretty price on your heads and we intend to claim it. Ariadne brandishes her hammer excitedly. Send me at them. They're easy fodder for my hammer. So, just give me a little hint here. Does this one have more to do with the story, or, like, the way each of these companions and their abilities would actually perform against thieves? By reading the dialogues or knowing our companions. Well, who should distract the thieves? So it's story still. I mean, if we're talking thieves, it'd be Mal, right? Nobody else here is all that talented with them.
You have every skill Kallas lacked. Patience, delicacy.
I'm thinking
Skill.
I'm thinking Malaclips, because the, well, Kolbjorn can't really distract them. Ariadne asked to do it, though? Oh, so this is like a Mass Effect 2 thing. Whoever volunteers is probably best for the job. Alright. Oh, no, that's right, because after this we're probably going to run into Northerners and need Kolbjorn, and then in the final map, probably mages for Mal. Okay, sure. I certainly hope I'm not being led off a cliff here, but let's give it our best shot. Ariadne strides up. Oh yeah, no, this is right. Good. Against brigands, you send a hero. Well, I was actually thinking against brigands, you send another brigand, which is, if I was running this in the style of a tabletop game, that's definitely what I would do. But Ariadne strides up the hillside toward the hooded figure, twirling her great hammer in her hands. You ready to have a good time, lads? A thief trips over himself as he backs away. It's the one that done felled Draknar the Mighty. Ariadne lets out a booming laugh. And now I'll squash the lot of you. She raises her hammer above her head. I don't care what the bounty is, one of the thieves cries. I'd rather keep my skull intact. The small army of thieves exchange looks with one another before scattering in fear. Okay, so, less than even like the story or knowing your companions, it's about matching up your companion with their homeland, essentially. Well, that was disappointing. Ariadne smiles from ear to ear as she returns. Did you see how they ran from me? I must be making quite a name for myself. So next up will be Kolbjorn in the mountains. Your reputation precedes you, Ariadne. Estrella smiles as the blacksmith's daughter grins proudly. You all make your way over the range and into the snowy hinterlands of the Empire. A calm comes over Kolbjorn as he breathes in the cold, crisp air. This land was once the dominion of my kin. Many still hide in these hills. They'll not hesitate to attack any passers-by. Malaclips nods, pointing to twin peaks in the west. The Empire still follow us with vigor. If we press on and rest only when necessary, then we may make it to the mountain pass in the west. The marigold fields and the caravan are there. So real quick, we'll see what's for sale. Ring of Concentration, worth it. And I guess we might as well let everybody get their day in the sun. What's over here? Stirring in the mire again. The Empire. Or no, thieves. And then the Empire. Well, against these folks, I'm thinking... well, the Empire, actually. Hey, just so I know, to see if we have time to fit it in tonight, roughly how long is the sun? Oh, sorry, not the sun. We already cleared the sun. Roughly how long is the world? His clan avenged, this northerner will be a steadfast ally till his debt to you is paid. His new flaming swords do extra damage to northerners. I have time for it? Okay. Ouch. Okay, so something I've realized a bit late, but just now in this combat. If there is an attack indicator over an enemy's head, just react to the indicator. Don't, unless you have dodged in the exact opposite direction, don't bother thinking, oh, I'm not within swinging range of that, because it's probably still going to hit. Hitboxes ain't perfect in this game, though to be fair, they've also erred in our favor many times before. Ouch. Ooh, look at that hand glitching out. MC2M says don't hesitate to attack and revive at the same time. Oh, normally I wouldn't, but since we are kind of trying to grind that shard and there were only a couple guys left, I figured, what the hell, might as well see if we can't... There it is, that's better. Oh, that's much better. Hey, check it out, it's the duel. You meet with your fellow conspirators at an inn on the fringes of the Empire. Here, between mugs of ale, you begin to plot the Emperor's downfall. Emperor Cassius. Yep. Here we go again. This poor guy. He just needs to stay home. Now he's a brimstone knight. Sir Cassius, very drunk and none too happy. Fortunately, I've got something tailor-made for you, sir. Oof, look at that damage. Down he goes. MC2M says, and a brimstone knight he will stay. They really had fun with Duel. Yeah, they did. I love the idea of brawling with this guy as he continues to advance up the ranks. And you do, for that matter. And that's it. The Raiders' camp.
Yet you must cross. All is lost in vain.
Following the trail through the twisting canyon, you find a northerner encampment. There will be more too further down, Kolbjorn says, laying low in a thicket of ferns. They'll attack on sight. Gerald the surly goblin appears behind you. Gerald can offer you another way. No thanks, Jerry. North is a cave, the goblin continues. The passage leads through the mountains to the woodlands in the west. He then wanders down the gully and out of sight. No, we're taking him. Ariadne. Eyes front, and... Oh dear. Right? One, maybe? I'm thinking one? Four or five. We'll go four. There we go. Thank you. Very well done. I've learned enough from this to get rid of the standard raiders first. Estrella. This is one of the trickier configurations for the pendulum. Nope, that'll do. She got rid of a tyrant for us. Alright, we want to get rid of... Huh. Honestly, if we could get rid of that, that'd be grand. There we go. Maleklips defeats his target. And Kolbjorn now, going for broke. Ooh. Ooh, damn. No, not worth it. It's fine. We can take him. 2 units of berserkers, a tyrant, a shaman, and a unit of trappers. Oh no, we lose Kolbjorn. Never mind. And we only have to fight 4 at a time. Well, we can manage. After all, we've got probably one of the best weapons in the entire game. Whew. Oh. Now fighting all these guys by our lonesome is not gonna be fun. Oh, there goes the shaman. Admittedly, I'd feel much better if we didn't have to deal with Berserker Mania on top of the Tyrant, but... we're managing decently, though, for what's supposed to be the quote-unquote difficult path. Boy, there's a lot of them, aren't there? MC2M says the difficult path is meant to look scary. Oh, I know, but it's also meant to con us into giving up all of our great equipment, which I simply shall not do. It's not as scary as it looks, really. Now, maybe the last one will be. It'll probably be a massive contingent of Imperial forces. Well, no, that won't be scary as long as we keep our axe. My God, there's a lot of you. I've noticed all the melee Northerners have the same exact attack pattern. Rushing downward chop, and then just a couple overhead swings. Nice and easy. The only real difference is how much damage they deal, I think. Oh, there we go. So much better. Oh, and of course, ow, ow. I thought I fired off my finishing blow. The Tyrant has the one unblockable attack. 2 hits to get rid of that armor. That's how you do it. With the last of the Northerners defeated, you continue your escape through the canyon to the pass in the west. Alright, we're going to camp real quick. We don't need to use the soul gem, and hopefully we won't need to. The healer. Buy healing for our companion. She can revive Kolbjorn for 6 gold. Let's do it. The woman gathers ingredients seemingly at random from the bottles and jars round her bench. She adds them to her mortar and grinds them into a fine powder. Satisfied, she ignites the powder with a purple flame, filling the room with sweet-smelling smoke. Kolbjorn sits up with a start, and miraculously he's fully healed. We're good? Oh, Empire time. This should be nice exercise, eh? And man, yeah, if you prepare properly by getting all the companion quest lines out of the way, this mission is basically one gigantic slugfest. Oof. Getting careless, taking more and more hits in combat, but we're almost there. Well, I'm taking more hits, but there's also like a million more enemies as well. Ugh! Man. Just for that, you lose your armor. Whoa, did the bullet just curve in midair? Oh, there we go. Threw his kukri at him. Nothing else to note? Deep water. Yeah, we'll fight. We can always use the equipment. Due to the way we built our deck, almost every single encounter is a combat now. This one at least will get us some quality gear. There we go. Musketeers are way more dangerous than the trappers, so we want to get rid of them first. That's a pretty solid performance. Down he go. Sorry, off the bridge and then out of existence he goes. Oh, that's very good. What do we got? Gambler's Jewel, Bullseye, Weave of the Protector. Gambler's Jewel for now, I think. It's just so good. Healing, we'll take.
If you fall in the
A raider
trap,
ambush.
you may blame error. To fall in the
Just
same
trappers and a shaman, we can handle this.
foolishness.
This is kind of underpowered, really. Oh, not complaining, though. She can't heal him faster than Peeler can wreck him. Okay. Oh, I guess because she can't deal any damage, she, like, automatically dies. If all of the raiders are taken out, possibly? Search for spoils. Ooh. Food, yay! Oh man, not again. MC2M says she died as she teleported. Okay. So we managed to deal a final blow just before she... or the ice sculpture shattered. The death check happened right after. Oh, so technically a little glitch then. Alright, let's get this over with. There goes all that armor. Oof. There's just so many of them. Oh my god. Ah. There we go. At least this conclusion feels like far, far more suitably epic than the first games. I am enjoying this, even though it's going on a little long. MC2M says, like the teleport... I wonder if it's a glitch or a feature, like the teleport acted on a corpse. Maybe? Maybe, yeah. I'm thinking she could still sustain damage after turning to ice. Did so, and the game just went ahead with the teleport animation and process, and only then, as you said, checked to see if she had any health left. Well, this is gonna be an easy one.
This card
Northern Pass.
is called Judgment. Here you must pay the price for your regicide, and also for your decisions.
As you join your companions at the foot of the pass as planned. As you begin your ascent, Northerner warriors emerge from the craggy rocks and block your path. Clan Crowfoot, Kolbjorn growls. They who burn my village and my people to ash. Rogvir's successor, a smaller, much younger Northerner, steps forward as you approach. Kolbjorn of Killan Eyebright, he calls. You bested us in battle, and as right, we bear no qualms with you. But you cannot bring the Empire here. Turn back. There's only one way forward to the Marigold Fields and to the caravan. The other directions spell only death. You must send someone to parley with Clan Crowfoot. Well, that's easy. Kolbjorn approaches Clan Crowfoot. They bow to him, and he in turn bows. They talk quietly to one another. In a tense moment, you fear it'll turn to blows, but Rogvir's successor merely clasps Kolbjorn by the neck. Rogvir was right to fear your return, he shouts. The Emperor is dead! It is as the High Priestess desired. It would be Clan Crowfoot's honor to hold the pass, while you and your comrades make your escape. Together you make your way over the pass while the Northerners move back into hiding. to wait for your pursuers. Now it's Mal's time to shine. You descend the mountain pass, and enter a forest dotted with blooms of red flowers. The marigold fields, Malaclip shouts. There! The caravan! A mournful horn and shouting behind you signals the Empire is closer than ever. They're here! Estrella stops Ariadne from pulling out her hammer. No, it's no use. We must run. Now go. A platinum card. We'll take that. We'll heal ourselves. Back to where it all started. The wishing well. We'll throw some coins into the well. Yeah, let's make it 25 gold. Why not?
Nicely timed.
The gods are somewhat pleased with our offering. Oh, I love the cinematic way they're using all of the Imperial pieces and cards in. That's brilliant. Forgotten Dreams. Wishing well. Sure. What's happening? Like, is this a bad thing that this card turned up right now, or? No. Here we go. Ooh. Surrounded.
Enemies, and the best of them stop you now. One step closer, and you will reach my threshold.
Imperial soldiers surround you as you approach the clearing with the caravan. A knight steps forward. Fools! He calls. No one can hope to escape the Empire's reach. You survived this far not by luck or skill. You survived because we let you. He chuckles. If the sacrifice of an emperor is what it takes to draw out the last of the mages, then it is a price that must be paid. The knight steps aside as the soldiers completely surround you. With the inevitability of the Empire closing in, you give the nod, and your companions ready their weapons. Malaclips looks you in the eye. You know we're not going to get through unscathed, but I see no other way. Ariadne winds her hammer above her head. Oh, let's hope and pray we get this right. Oh, which one? What did it look like? 4, maybe? 1. Good eye. Now we want to get rid of the Legionnaires. Estrella. I know the card went on top. I'm just terrible at tracking them, I hate to say. She took out a general, I think. Mal's up next. There we go. And now good old Kolbjorn versus the Musketeers. Oof, dang. Dang. Sure. Come on now, really? Well, he's down. But we can handle the rest of them. Oh no. We take a little bit of pain, then we have to fight... Oh yeah, because the knight comes. So be it, the knight says, stepping forward. He lowers his helmet and, drawing his weapons, calls the last of his men. Charge! So barring the Musketeers, it's every single specialty unit the Empire has. Alright, let's kick some ass. We've got the perfect tools for the job. The traitorous knight. At the front lines of great upheaval, there are always men who flounder anywhere but in the midst of battle. Come on. Come on, General. And Malaclip's already down. Ooh. Nope, forgot about the captain. Let's try to get Mal back up on his feet when we can. So Kallas just willingly sacrificed the Emperor, knowing that we were coming in order to lure out Valenos, I would assume. Interesting, but I don't exactly know what forces he hopes to stop us with at this point. He may be this all-powerful mage warlord, but I dare say we've proven ourselves just a tad bit stronger than anything he can throw at us up to this point. So now we've reached the carriage we're in.
Here we are.
This is exactly what no one anticipates.
One more must fall.
You stumble across a clearing, the caravan waiting ahead of you. 4 mages lay lifeless on the ground. Among them is the familiar gaunt figure of the hermit. Relinquished to the fabric mountain that draped him in the winter forest, he lies in a simple, pale robe, like a burial smock. MC2M says, Valenos uses his power to train you after all. Yeah, no, he does seem to be doing all he can for us. Oh, things get weird when time is involved. Yeah. Yeah, no, because it was implied very early on, like I think around the first time we met the Emperor, that we had already assassinated him. So he's allowing us to train and become stronger in our past, using what power he has left over the game. More soldiers will soon be upon you, a familiar disembodied voice echoes in your head. You must draw them away from the caravan before all is lost. Who should distract the Empire? Ain't nobody else had time to show their stuff. Let's go for it. Well, yeah, because we've used Kolbjorn, we've used the other 3. This is his map. Mage-themed, time to shine. The hermit's voice fades and his body turns blue and cold. Malaclip sighs, turning his head to the sounds of the approaching Empire army. MC2M says, using his understanding of the game, rather, this is a replica of the game of life and death. But still has some kind of power associated with it, I'd imagine. I understand Valenos is just barely clinging on to life and to his power. But oddly enough, this game seems way more intricate than the OG. He faces you, smiling sadly. We brought somebody back from the maws of death that probably should have stayed in, and so brought the corruption onto this plane. Malaclips chuckles in disbelief. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had to cut off my arm. That must have been horrific. And I'm sorry that I won't be here to explain more. The one who waits you in the caravan, do the wise thing. The bard's well-styled mustache twitches with a wry smile. I'll miss you, coin slave. Before you can protest, The bard disappears in a cloud of confetti. You hear Maleklyp's spells crackle in the distance as he leads the soldiers away. The caravan awaits. Tears well in Ari's eyes. I'm not one for goodbyes. I'll never forget the time we clubbed that ogre's head in together. Estrella grips your arm briefly with a curt nod. It has been an honor. Finally, Kolbjorn grabs your head and places his forehead gently against yours. Glory to you, brother. Now go, Estrella says. We'll follow after once the coast is truly clear. Exhausted, you open the door and a voice calls to you. Come, sit, catch your breath. They will not follow you here. Your memories are fading even now as we set the pieces in place. Gone to form the soul of the game we play. Well, we did it.
And so the circle is complete. The entire
MC2M says,
door has been unwoven, and we understand how we came to be. Now there is only one.
of course he learned a lot of the true game, but this is not the real thing, just his own powers. Yeah, and I guess we're lucky to be trained then by one of the most powerful sorcerers in history, the Feast of Kallas, the Adventurer's Aid, and the Shadow of the Empire. And for having all 4 companions with us at the end of all things. Better supplies, I suppose? Yeah, very nice. And so it comes to this. The grand finale.
Our journey together. But now we see the truth of it all laid bare. You must help me. And together, we will return this world to the way it should be.
Hold on. With that, ladies and gents, we're going to take a 5-minute break real quick and return to conclude the game. Very excited. We finally get to work with Valenos directly, it sounds like. Ain't that something? You sit down to play a video game and chat with some folks online for a couple hours, and you get up to find out that states of well, yes, technically states of emergency, but also curfews have been issued for your state and your city. Right on. Welcome back, thank you very much. MC2M says, now the true finale. I still have chills running down my spine with this story. It's just so great. It really is. And they integrate gameplay, or the storyline, into the gameplay, the actual core mechanics, really, really, really well. And I'm excited to see how this concludes, and I can already tell that the DLC campaigns are probably going to contain a few chapters each, as I see multiple locations on the board that weren't there originally. We got the little ship for the map maker, and we've got the tent and that castle over on the left-hand side of the board, I believe, for the Beast DLC. But that said, it's time to conclude Hand of Fate 2, y'all. Let's go. The world. All enemies are brimstone.
Here, I have taught you all I can.
None of these are my best equipment, so... Let's see, what shield do we want? What's the Shadow of the Empire do? We finally get to see what all these things do, I think. Sweet! 10 max life while equipped, that's a good one. Bastion of Purification. I want to take the Shadow of the Empire. Our best quick weapon, Coward's Bane. The Wind's Return. Ooh, the Death Orang. We'll take, what are the Hunter's Blades? All enemies are brimstone. Weave of the... Is Weave of the Protector what we want, or are there a lot of gambits here? Should I be preparing for gambits or combat? You want the best armor. I gotcha. I gotcha. Defense 20, defense 18, defense 20, 20. Oh wow, this thing dispels curses? Nice. Not what I would have expected. 20. Best armor, of course, unlocked by the jousting armor token. Ah, of course it is. Of course it is. Strength plus. Till then, because we're going to be fighting Kallas, how about we let the lizard men take a little bit of revenge in effigy. Each piece of equipped equipment that offers defense gains +2 defense. That's what we want. Alright, does this look like a pretty good setup to you? All enemies are brimstone. The world. Prepare for the final journey. Lionheart hitting the best. I just can't think of what else I'd want to use. We'll keep it for now. I really hope we actually get to work with Velanos in the field now.
Thus, our carriage arrives at our final destination.
Oh, so cool!
Now we will see what changes Kallas has wrought, and play the game of life and death in truth.
So it sounds like he's not going to be our dealer anymore. So do we have to play the game with Kallas now? That'd be really interesting, no? Here we are. Oh, sweet.
think I'd leave you on your own, did you?
You're going to where the first game took place. Okay, so can we interact with these people or get them to come with us? Oh, 1 minute. Sorry about that. They are joining, just go forward. You got it. Sorry about that, my mom was just calling to make sure I knew about the curfew orders that just went out. Hey look, it's the symbols of the suits from the original game. Time to get some vengeance for all of them.
Mess this up.
You have done well. Let us finish it.
Hold on. Guys, I'm sorry. Give me just a minute. I'm getting another phone call. Sorry. So sorry about this. Hello? Whew. So sorry about that, y'all. Especially those of you catching this VOD, I'm sorry about the disruption. There's just, well, some pretty crazy, nasty stuff going on, in my city, and my folks wanted to make sure I was aware of, like, local curfew orders and, state of emergency declarations. Ugh. This is a fun night, don't worry about it. Thanks a lot, MC2M. It's alright, I'm perfectly fine where I am. Right, let's finish this game that we've been working on for a couple weeks. And there he is.
And a final meeting. You expect me to play cards? No. I have devoted my life to battle. And battle it shall be.
Oh, so it's one last dust up with the Empire. So I guess everyone who controls the game gets to change the rules to their liking completely. In the case of Kallas, he's, just decided to turn it into straight-up gladiatorial combat, which I am perfectly alright with.
Only
He's like a knight on crack. Oh, it's the dealer.
Not alone. We fight together.
Very nice. Oh, this is cool. And it looks like the dealer can stun him once in a blue moon. Oh, the cards. Here come the Northerners.
I will not go
And we have to fight with a one-handed weapon. Okay. I see. Lucky y'all, I got a brimstone slaying machine of a sword. Oh, check out this shield. There we go. And that's the tyrant down, so this should just be cleanup.
Finally, a worthy foe.
If this is to be the final battle, let them sing our praise when all is done.
So Velenos can barely move, but he's right here with us. Now I'm guessing thieves. Oh no.
The world I have created
Oh yeah,
is
thieves
glorious.
and inexplicably a shade.
Scent of our kind. We dominate the world as we should. You would risk all of this?
Ooh. And that, kids, is why we brought along the Lionheart, to make up for phenomenal human error. Oh, we got him. This is a pretty epic final battle, I've got to say. Not that tough, but very thematically appropriate. And here he comes one last time.
It's the only game.
And Estrella's, or was still in it for a moment. You know what, I have to say, after seeing both of them in action, and their ideologies in action, I genuinely do believe that Velenos has a better vision for the world than Kallas does. And now we get to fulfill that vision.
You cannot simply take this power. You will be changed by it. You will change the world. It will take your form. I hope you understand what that means. The next era will be marked by those traits you have shown me throughout the game. Persistence,
Congrats, thank you very much. That was
imagination.
fairly straightforward, actually.
What sort of world I will find when you are done.
Protector of the Realm trophy unlocked. MC2M says on the bad ending, Velenos takes the game back for himself. Oh, I see. So, it's almost as if by growing together with our companions, becoming closer to them and demonstrating the better traits left within humanity and the world, even as Kallas left it, we're showing Velenos that there is still hope for a bright, vibrant world without him necessarily lording over it. Wow, that was really something else. Hand of Fate 2. An improvement over the original, I would say, in just about every way. The real drive to make individual chapters feel and operate distinctly from one another is probably the most significant change between the first and second game, and I would say it's also the largest improvement, easily. Some of these challenges are quite lengthy. I'm talking like the Hermit, the Sun, and Judgment, of course. But I'm also thinking, I believe Justice? Well, a lot of them. A lot of them will take the same amount of time that maybe 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 challenges would have taken in the original. So it really does help then that as you spend that time, invest that time in the game, you don't have the same exact events recurring time and again and again and again, unless you wish to put them in your deck. You've constantly got new challenges, new content, and new stories being thrown at you with every additional challenge you take on. Combat was also improved by a ridiculous, or to a ridiculous degree. Combat in the first Hand of Fate was very utilitarian, I want to say. It did the job it was intended to do, perfectly competently. But there was sort of this polish severely lacking from the whole experience. And as I mentioned a couple times throughout these streams, once in a while you would feel like you took a blow that you really shouldn't have because you get locked into an animation that takes over long, or enemies fire off some attacks quicker than they would normally just due to like weird little quibbles with the animation. None of that's present here. Combat feels more responsive, as our friend MC2M has said. Tight, like much narrower margin for the execution of moves, but also like everything feels like it flows a lot better, so you're not having to think 1 or 2 full seconds ahead like you would have to account for animations in the first Hand of Fate. I absolutely adore the addition of companion characters, each with their own quest line, and unique ways to help you both in and out of battle. So, at least when I was progressing through the main story, not when I was farming their quest lines, I always thought, okay, who do I want with me? Well, since I can manage the combat pretty decently well, it's not like these characters have no impact on the gameplay. Each of them can help with a style of gambit. Since I suck at chance cards, I took the companion who assists with chance cards with me as often as I could, and she turned out to be a really big help, even though we probably didn't need her for battle itself. Love the idea of completing quest lines and unlocking platinum variants of your companion cards. I love the idea of unlocking platinum and brimstone variants of like standard events as a result for completing them to begin with. I think that's amazing. I love the platinum brimstone system, adds more diversity, also lets players know kind of what they're in for when they put new cards into their deck. Like, oh, this is going to really benefit my run, or might want to save this one for a throwaway run, you know? I really appreciate the fact that there is a more diverse offering of enemies. In the first game, basically you had, aside from the bosses, 2 variants for most of the game's 4 baseline factions. Melee and ranged, that's it. They operated effectively identically, and aside from the rats being a little bit quicker and having poison, and the lizards being just a little bit tougher, 90% of the time you were fighting the same 2 enemies over and over again in with the addition of mini-bosses and bosses that change things up a whole lot. But here, every faction feels mechanically distinct. Now, each of them has a baseline foot soldier, a ranged variant, and what I would call an elite. Think the Berserkers for the Northerners, the Phalanx for the Empire, the Silencer for the Thieves Guild, for instance, the Affliction for the Corrupted, or the Blight, I'm sorry, that are basically upgraded variants of their standard foot soldier with additional or harder hitting attacks and health. But in addition to that, each faction also had several distinct bosses and mini-bosses that were introduced and integrated into standard combats pretty seamlessly. I'd say all told, this game probably had, twice as many bosses in the base game that the first game did with all its DLC. And it's just absolutely phenomenally well designed. The final battle felt a little underwhelming because it was just so incredibly straightforward. But it did feel like a suitable conclusion to this work that we had been doing over the past, well, in my case, a little over a week. Yeah, I adore this game. I adore the fact that the chance cards aren't the only gambit present anymore. I adore the fact that you've got all this cool new gear that you can use to directly impact the gambits themselves. I think this is a brilliantly designed game, and I would have loved to have seen what Defiant Development could have done with a third stab at this exact formula, or what they would have been able to churn out with A World in My Attic, which is just a brilliant concept. MC2M says, Kallas only wanted combat. Valenos never understood that and expected the worst from his perspective. Well, yeah, no, Kallas not only wanted combat, he wanted, like, supremacy. Human supremacy. And Valenos, despite being so antagonistic in the first game and somewhat arrogant in this one, really does appreciate, like, this fantastic world of wonder and diversity in which he operates, and wants to act kind of as a guardian, a custodian of all of the wonderful magical things out there in the world. And the implication from the conclusion, or the good ending, is we're going to help him in that regard. So, yeah, Hand of Fate 2, what a game, what a game. Well, real quick, we're going to log back in before we sign off for the night to take a look at one more thing. We get a gold token, the last gold token in the base game. For defeating Kallas, we get his ring. And this is what we wanted. For being the tool of his vengeance, we receive Valenos, the dealer, already a platinum card. There we go. Now, if we were to hop into an earlier challenge, let's just see what the dealer can do. Oh, and notice, his card has his standard mark, but without the little, cysts of corruption. Okay, so you can retry any gambit. He can disorient enemies in a certain area, and he's completely invulnerable to damage. That's brilliant. So Valenos, just as expected, kind of breaks the game in half. Excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our adventure through Hand of Fate 2 for the time being. Let's go ahead and just see what this is. Oh.
This is a story yet to be told.
We launch into the DLC.
Into the future, and with it learn of lands beyond death.
There we are. We will come back tomorrow at 6 p.m. as standard this time to explore the 2 DLC chapters, the Mapmaker and the Servant. Until then, I want to thank all of you so much for staying with us through this little adventure in the Hand of Fate series. Anybody watching who's dropped into Twitch chat, anybody who's been present in our audience over on YouTube, thank you so much. If you guys enjoy my streams and the NPC plot lines, that's true. We have Katura, Hubie, and then the demon we unlock at the end of the Servant DLC. But if you guys enjoy this kind of content, if you like what we're doing here, please feel free to recommend the stream to any friends who you think might share your interest. I would love to have more folks in chat, love to meet and get feedback from different people. And a very special thank you to erstwhile companion of these streams, MC2M in stream chat, who is our resident Hand of Fate expert. They've been fantastic, hanging with me well into the early morning hours in their time zone and providing some fantastic advice and co-running commentary. Alright. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, please take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.